Miss ya era, miss ya era. I love this land, every woman, every man. Miss ya era, miss era. Workers' Republic and everlasting peace.
I am your son, beside the lagoon. With Tone and Thomas, Trustful and United Irishmen, the river flows. Horses of nature carry all in its path to the place it's meant to be. A Mishaera, Mishaera. I love this land, every woman, every man.
Mishaera, Mishaera. Workers' Republic and everlasting peace.
I'm your servant, Mother Ireland, with and brain and sunshine east of the covers in England. About the Heron, workers and farmers, not only free but Gaelic, not just Gaelic, but also free. Mishaera, Mishaera, I love this land, every woman, every man.
Mishaera, Mishaera. Workers' Republic and everlasting peace.
I am your son, beside the Clyde. Brother Walford came to the Gallagate and maintained their dignity. The river flows, forces of nature carry all in its path to the place it's meant to be. I miss your era, miss your era. I love this land, every woman, every man. I miss your era,
Mishaera. Workers' Republic and everlasting peace.
Misha era, Shinna mail na Kalyak bear. More Malor made the rug who Cullen Crover. More Manoir McClan fain the ye all war here. Misha era, Ugini main on a Halyak bear.
Mishaera, Mishaera. I love this land, every woman, every man. Mishaera, Mishaera. Workers' Republic and everlasting peace.
I am your daughter, beside Shannon, where Mary Perrose led the killers right merry dance. The river flows, forces of nature carry all in its path to the place it's meant to be. Mishaera, Mishaera, I love this land, every woman, every man.
Mishaera, Mishaera. Workers' Republic and everlasting peace.
I am your son, beside the Hudson. James Conley came to Albany, told the workers organize it from his grave. Evoked the spirit, told the bold Mike Quill to burn the judge's robe. Mishaera, Mishaera. I love this land, every woman, every man.
Mishaera, Mishaera. Workers' Republic and everlasting peace. I am your son, beside the Liffey. Pierce read the proclamation, declared our sovereignty. The river flows, forces of nature carry all in its path to the place it's meant to be. Mishaera, Mishaera. I love this land, every woman, every man. Mishaera, Mishaera. Workers' Republic and everlasting peace. Mishaera, Mishaera. I love this land, every woman, every man. Mishaera, Mishaera. Workers' Republic and everlasting peace.
Well, folks, hello, how yous doing? And it's a big welcome back from myself, Ro, DJ Rebel Ro here, folks. So it's a bit surreal doing this here tonight. That's what it is, I have to say. I probably never been more nervous in my whole life about doing a show. So I know people will go, why are you nervous? You've done hundreds and hundreds of these things. But just because I've been out for so long, if you get me. And it's just getting back into the swing of things. And I think the other thing as well why I'm so nervous about doing this is because there's so many people out there in this scene and stuff that basically don't want me to succeed doing this. A lot of them don't even want me involved in this sort of scene. Don't want me doing this. So it's more or less a big two fingers up the end as well. More or less to say, like, no, I'm doing me here. It's about me, not about using. So it's probably took me a year to realise that there, which was partly a lot of the reason why I stopped the old Rebel podcast due to a lot of basically emotional sort of and bullying and stuff and kind of thing that was going on that I didn't really talk about. So, but listen, I made the conscious decision a while ago to back new this year. I was just sort of thinking about what late I was going to do and stuff and kind of thing. So I think happy enough where we are now. So again, before we start things off, I want to say a massive shout out to the Rock Bar. Cheers to Connor and Brendy as well, all the staff there. Big Sean, the new general manager, for sponsoring the show. So folks, just means now I'll not be stuck up any QR codes like PayPal or Revolut saying, come on, will you sponsor me or will you give me a few quid? Just means now, obviously the money I have to pay for the software and stuff, it's the show's being sponsored, so that's going to cover it. So again, what you'll see the Rock Bar average throughout the show every week. It'll always be down the screen here as well, as you can see down the left hand corner. So folks, yeah, for everybody that's new here that didn't listen to the old Rebel podcast, you're very, very welcome. For everybody that's back, old listeners, friends, you're very, very welcome as well. So usual crack is, if you're watching the show on Facebook, so we're live on the DJ Rebel Row page, and of course live on my own Rory Carson page. So if you're watching on Facebook, please just can you share the stream, and we'll try and get as many people watching the show tonight as possible if you can share it. If you're watching the show on YouTube, thank you very much. If you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel on YouTube, please do it. It takes 2 minutes. Just subscribe to the channel, hit the wee bell icon, and it'll basically give you a thing to say, listen, look, subscribe, and if you click on the bell, and mean every time I go live or upload a video, you'll get a notification on your phone or your device, whatever. So and for everybody as well, it's new listeners maybe coming in from TikTok, seeing the ads and all stuff, whatever, or new followers on the Facebook page or on Instagram. The way it's going to work is, yeah, there's going to be a lot of Rebel music played throughout the show, but this is it's still a podcast, so it's predominantly going to be a lot of talking, a lot of interviews. So I don't want to see any listen, cut that talking shit out, get the rebs on, okay folks. So if that comes up, you'll be just cut off, you know what I mean, or you'll get a warning. Anybody who watches this before, that's what the show is all about. It's about bringing guests on, about bringing people involved in the Rebel scene on. A lot of these singers and stuff, you might have seen them loads of times playing on stage, heard them talking, but this is about bringing them in, telling their personal story, about basically just letting you find out about them and stuff you didn't know about them, do you know what I mean? So that's what it's all about. So folks, again, thank you very much. We'll jump into the comments here. We've got loads coming through already, and we'll see who's watching. Again, just let us know tonight where you're watching the show from. I can tell if you're watching from Facebook or YouTube, so I can, but let us know exactly where you are, and we'll give you a wee shout out. So up first, my friend there, John Boy McElhenney, Mon the Candy, good to see you back. Derek Delaney, there's the first of our dirty dubs in tonight. James McWhale says video was freezing. Mate, it must be your own stream, so it must be. Because I'm plugged straight into the router with a lead, so it's definitely not my Wi-Fi. So let me know if anybody else is having issues with the stream, and just let me know, is the music grand and is the mic all okay? Is it all coming through loud and clear for you? Wee Jim on YouTube is watching from Glasgow tonight. Anthony Hart, our good friend from Armagh. Anthony, good to see you watching on YouTube as well tonight. He says, great to have the show back. Cheers, mate. Dan O'Kelly, welcome back. Cheers, mate. Derek Delaney says, yep, all is okay. There's our good friend from America, the first one, Sydney Deering. Anya Deering and I are listening from Seattle. Thank you very much, as always, Sydney, for tuning into the show. It's very, very much appreciated. So thank you. Who else do I have? Let's see. Valerie as well. Dirty Dubs, delighted to have you back. Thank you very much. It's delighted to have our good friends from Dublin on. We do slag you a lot, so we do, but we do love our friends from Dublin, so we do. Andrew Smith says, welcome back, Ro. Lindsay Young watching on YouTube, glad you're back. Alan Chuck McPherson watching on Facebook, keep going. Let's see, Iceland Kane says, hail, watching on Facebook tonight. Eamon Melly, welcome back. Eamon, good to see you, Mucker. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming back on YouTube. And there he is, Johnny Costello. fired up, you're back, have a blast. Yes, mate. So Johnny is going to be one of our guests next week, along with Michael McCormick from the Irish Sound. So we'll have 3 Rebel Music podcasters all on the screen at the same time, having a good old yarn. Steve, watching from Berlin, another past listener to the show. Thank you very much, mate. It's much, much appreciated. Toby Mack, how you doing? Toby, what's crack, mate? Watching on YouTube, welcome back. Thank you very much. And Andrew Bisland watching on YouTube as well. And Brian Duffy watching on YouTube is watching the show from Canada tonight. Thank you very much. There's Peter O'Connell as well from County Limerick. Peter's going to be a guest on the show as well next month. So good to see you on, Peter. Great to see the show back. Welcome back, Ro. Thank you very much. Right, so what we're going to do here, folks, is obviously our main guest tonight is going to be Kieran Davenport, right? So I'll give you a heads up now. This one's going to be very deep, a lot of questions. It's going to be a long interview. Could last most of the second half of the show, but I can guarantee you it's going to be a great interview as well. So it is. So Kieran's going to be on from 9 o'clock. So he is. So make sure you're tuned in for that. And then about 8:30, we're going to have Keith from the Come On the Hoops Salt Lake social media. He'll be coming on about 8:30 for us. And we're going to be sitting talking for about maybe 10-15 minutes just all about Salt Lake. It's going to be our weekly Salt Lake chat. We're going to talk about players coming in, matches, management, board, all that kind of stuff. And we'll try and wrap it up max about 15 minutes every week. So you can get your questions in as well, and Keith will try and answer them. So usual, folks, if you want any songs, get them in the comments section on Facebook or YouTube, and I will do my very best to try and fit them in. But as I say, folks, if you are watching the show and you don't really like the interviews and the talking, I don't want to hear any get this crap off, get the revs on, because you'll be given the warning and then you'll be put it out, and that's the way it's going to be, okay? So I'm not going to start off by giving people all second chances. No, I'm just letting people know now that's the way it's going to be. So, right, I want to start the show off with probably the very first song. So that first song we played there, it's going to be out the track we'll go do every week in the intro. It's called Misa Era, features Cruncher, Shane McGowan, Damien Dempsey, Gary Ogue, who else? I'll just check here now and see, because I want to make sure we know exactly who was on that their song, because it's a cracking tune. And again, shout out to John Costello, because I didn't actually hear it before until I heard it in his show before last year, or about a year ago. So it features Shandy in the Unity squad, Terry O'Neill, Cruncher there, Shane McGowan, Gary Ogue, Mary Courtney and Damien Dempsey. Fantastic song. So it is. So what we're going to do, we're going to start off the show with a bit of Cruncher, because obviously he was a very, very good friend of mine, and he passed away there earlier in the year, and it was a massive, massive shock for all of us. So there's only one really song we can play. So there is from Cruncher, and we're going to start off the very, very first song of the brand new DJ Rebel Euro show with the legend himself, Terry Cruncher O'Neill. Here we go.
I went to see a legend just the other night at the Yankee Stadium underneath the lights. I heard a man speaking after years and years in jail. His name, it was Mandela, and he came to tell his tale. The crowd, they cheered him loudly, but then the silence fell as he spoke about the hard years in a South African cell. Although he was free, his heart was feeling the pain, for his country and his people were still a part of that shame. He said he hoped that we would join him and walk down freedom's path, and these roads would be the hardest, oh, but they would be the last, and to join our hands together so that we might be as one, and to bring ourselves to the cause so this battle could be won. I went home to bed that evening, went to sleep and I had a dream. I was standing in the pouring rain in an Irish field of green, and all around the headstones were the martyrs of the past. I stood there in silence and they spoke to me at last. Kevin Barry is my name, and I died in the cell. They wanted the names of my comrades, oh, but this I would not tell. And I am Roger Casement, I was shot in London town for bringing German rifles to the lonely man's strand. James Cundy is my name, the working people are my life. When they shot me down in Kilmaine and jail strife, and I am Patrick Pearse, I was shot down by the foe. I read the proclamation at the steps of the GPO. The last voice that I heard says my name is Bobby Sands, and it's good to hear Mandela's words are ringing through the land. I want to hear them in Belfast, in Derry and Tyrone. Maybe then those English soldiers will know it's time to go home. I woke up in the morning, I remember them all. And who would believe that they'd knocked down the Berlin Wall? And now said Mandela, could this really be? Maybe now we will see Ireland reunited and free. Maybe now we will see Ireland reunited and free.
So, what a way to start the show, folks. The legend from the legend himself, Terry Cruncher O'Neill, who's now at peace. But yeah, really glad we got to go over to his house and stuff. And the same one last time, and again, having the privilege a good few years ago now to sit down and do an interview with him was just phenomenal, and something I will take to my grave with me. So it will be. So yeah, let's jump in back, see what else is saying. Stephen Little is looking for Pierce Jordan by Gary O at the Brazen Head. Flan Column, how you doing? Watching on YouTube. Evening, Ro, folks. Great to have you back, Ro. Thank you very much. Hope I'm doing well. Yes, fantastic indeed. Graham Keaton, how you doing, mate? Tonight he was watching on Facebook now and YouTube, not a problem, mate. Michael Turner watching, and Sonny Worthen, as always, it's always sunny over there, so it is looking at the Sam song. Steve there has just tagged about 1 million people as usual, so thank you very much, mate. Sammy Marshall, good man, what's the crack at the Cope Bridge crew are in. Welcome back, Ro. Good to see you on again. God bless Cruncher, indeed. Definitely. So Stephen Little says, alright, mate, from Rebel Scotland. Good man yourself. Joseph McGay, how you doing? Good to see you back, mate. Thank you very much. Wee Jim says, and we're going to talk about this here with Keith. He says, is Michael Nicholson okay? All the money. I said this earlier on there, and seriously, if any has ever watched Still Game, which if you've never watched it, where have you been? Go and watch it. But the episode where Tom gets electrocuted by the toaster, and no way, he's known for just being a Ted style bastard, like, and he wouldn't spend 2p. He basically just goes and buys everything. So he does. Like and Winston's taking advantage of him, so he is, and he's just buying everybody all the stuff. And then whenever they get locked in the big supermarket, he gets electrocuted again, and that brings him back, and he's like, he freaks out about wanting to know where all his money's went and all, and it's hilarious. But I think that is what happened here in Michael Nicholson, because it's not him. It is not him at all. So I don't know who is spending this money, but it's not Michael Nicholson, so it isn't. Oh yeah, Tom is some Terry Craney. How you doing, Terry? Welcome back, Terry. What part of the world are you at home? Are you? James McWheel, still game is shite, row. James, are you having a laugh? I think you're on here trolling me, are you? You're saying at the start there about the stream was freezing, and now you're saying still game is crap. Can we have a vote here, folks? Is James McWhale talking a lot of shite? Brian Toy says, see you in Puerto Rico Festival. Yes, mate, I will see you here. Thank you very much. Right, so Sydney has been on, and Anya is looking for a bit of the Song of the Dawn from the Irish Brigade, so we're going to do that there, and then I think we're going to get... Maeve, can you be quiet, please? This is the problem with my kids are down here with me in the house. They are. So the night I will play on the Song of the Dawn now, then we'll get Keith on, so we'll do our little our Celtic chat for this week's show. So this is the Irish Brigade live at Grace's in Glasgow, and on mandolin that night actually for this album was Kieran Davenport, which we'll talk about later on as well. So this is the Irish Brigade with Song of the Dawn, with the beautiful Anya singing it, especially for Anya over in Seattle. Here we go.
There's a wee Cork song from the Rising and from the War of Independence, a marching song called The Song of the Dawn from Anya here.
The song I sing is a song of home, a song of rushing doom, of glade and glen, of ford and fen, of lake and of mountain bloom, of sights that stand over all the land to tell of long ago. Let your voices ring in the song I sing, shine ever and yell go joy.
Yeah, so that was the Song of the Dawn there, folks, from the Irish Brigade Live at Grace's, spicy for Anya over in Seattle. So, Keith, can we hear us loud and clear? Yep.
We hear you loud and clear, bro.
Good. Perfect, mate. Absolutely love us here. 2 StreamYards together on point. So, I was just telling Keith, folks, before we come on there, that we almost had a bit of a wardrobe malfunction tonight, so we did. I was going to wear a top as well. So, and thankfully I didn't, because we looked like 2 dicks. So, would have. But, right, so, just in case anybody's been living under a rock, Keith, and they don't really know about the Come On the Hoops Celtic, let us know basically when you started your original page and stuff, where you're from and where you sort of are now in the world.
So I set up my original page on Facebook back in 2011, and then we just built and built. Then we went on to Instagram about 2016, start doing lives on Instagram every Friday night, talking about Celtic, and then the idea came up around YouTube about 2018. Start doing it in my spare room in the house, and then start getting bigger and bigger off it. But altogether, between TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and X, we have about 150,000 followers. So I've done all right with it. You know, I love the passion of talking about Celtic and communicating with the community, and obviously talk about match analysts and transfers and kits and memorable moments. Bit of everything. It's not just one particular topic.
Yeah, fantastic, mate. So we'll sort of get into what's happening at the minute. Obviously, for so long, everybody was all like busy sack the board, what's going on, and we're just seeing obviously all these other clubs, Rangers bringing in like 9-10 players out, and we were like bottom of the league of bringing players. There was nobody signed, but I think everybody is sort of cannot believe what has happened this last week or so. With I think more the quality of the players than anything. Not just, I think that's what the thing is now. It's more we're bringing in quality rather than quantity. Maybe in years gone by we brought quantity in, and a lot of them didn't even get a start, didn't get near the team. Where these players have brought in have hit the ground. Well, obviously the first 2 have hit the ground running, so they have, and these 2 new boys have signed. So I believe they're in time now to get registered for the Champions League, aren't they?
That's correct. Yeah, we can also do a wild card on one particular player before and another deadline 24 hours before the game. So if we are going to go out and get another player like a defensive midfielder or even a left back in, we should be all right. We've been looking at a left back from Chelsea, an 18-year-old left back. He's born in America, and he's been at the Chelsea Academy for the last 6 years. So he's only played 1 professional game for Chelsea, but he looks like a unit. It's a backup for KT.
Is this the guy with the afro, the fuzzy hair?
Yeah, the Davenport ways look, the social Bob look. But he looks pretty decent. Like, I was looking up his stats earlier on in under 21 level. He's played a good bit of Champions League under youth Champions League games and had pretty solid performances. So he's played 69 games in total in his youth career, and then 1 senior game professionally. So he should be coming in instead of Greg Taylor. Regards to the last month, I'm taken back because I didn't think we have it in us. Didn't think we had the board would have the stomach to be going out and getting this quality in instead of quantity. And
especially the money they're spending is like it's not known. Like, I mean, it's like, I don't know. Is this a Martin O'Neill effect where he sat down and said, "Listen, look, lads, you just brought me back in here. If you want me to stay, you need to start bringing me some players in, like some decent first team players, like." Or
well, 13.5 million is from the war chest. The rest of it is from sales of Naroski, Maeda, Inamura, and Palma. So that basically that money covered the likes of Duran and Who coming in. Now the Hassan deal, that's from their own pockets, and then Mika Bar coming in today as well. There's add-ons affected with these players, so Champions League qualification, appearances, all that, etc. So Hassan, if we beat Lask, they'll get the 3 million straight away. Rail out of Edo, they'll get that.
This here Lask team, so come what do you make of them? What do you know of them? It's a team I've never heard of. Like, so I mean, what's
I'll tell you one thing. The last time they got beaten in the Austrian league, you're nearly going back a year ago, and that was a hammering by Salzburg, 6-1. But they're a good team. They beat Man United a couple of years ago in the Europa League.
Right.
They're in Europe on a regular basis. They haven't played much in the Champions League. More so of a Europa League team, but they played 3-5-2. They have 2 decent lads up front. They've started the season off with 2 wins as well. So they're on form. They'll come to Celtic Park, licking their lips and saying, "Look, we know they're at Celtic have to bring quality in, but we can still go toe to toe." We've seen in the past, Ro, we need to learn from our mistakes of getting beaten nine
Yeah.
times in 13
Yeah.
qualifiers we failed.
No, it's a massive thing this year. So it is. So obviously the get into the league. The first home game wasn't like, but supposed to get the Flag Day, playing on a Monday night. No, it wasn't ideal. But that match there against Kilmarnock at the weekend there, this boy Hugh, he just looks like he's like going to score a bag of goals for us. Like, so he does.
That's what impressed me the most. I know everyone's going to be delighted about the goals. I like the way he came back and collected the ball and looking for space to go to hit the wings and then pushing him up to get into the box. That's what sold it for me in the game. I think he looks like, my prediction is I think he'll score 25 goals in all competitions. I know some people are jumping and saying maybe 30 or 35 goals. Let the guy settle in. I think, his pedigree, he's already proved it in the Champions League last season, scoring against Man City and Atletico Madrid and all that. So it's the question that a lot of Celtic fans are asking is, what's the formation going to be? Is Martin going to change it around? Are we going to go?
I thought he was going to do 4-4-2. I think, obviously, to me, I think that guy Duran, when he first came in sort of the pre-season and then the first match, he was doing really well. But he's sort of been pushed out now. And maybe it's not in his... They're trying to fit him in the team where he's not really having an impact at all. I mean, where like bringing this as proven goal scoring and sort of putting him out of the way to try and fit Hugh in. But I don't know. I mean, Martin always was 4-4-2 man, like, wasn't he? I mean, two big strikers up front. I mean, it's like, I'm wondering, what will he try this here, like, eventually, or are they going to or not? Do you reckon?
I think the modern football is completely different. No one really plays 4-4-2. The odd time in international football, I think he'll wait until he gets the transfer window closed, stay with the 4-3-3, get the Champions League over the line, and then he'll try it domestically. I'd say we'll be playing a different formation, a style of football by the derby on the 20th of September. That's my prediction on it.
What do you think of the goalkeeper situation? Do you think it's going forward is Sincero a man, like, or?
Well, I think obviously with the midfielder situation kind of brushed out. If Arnie Ingles goes and Rio goes now, I think we'll get that guy in from Torino, and then we'll look at getting that Canadian guy in, Nico Suguru as well. The goalkeeper situation, we've been linked with a goalkeeper for 6 weeks now from the second division in Spain. The reason what's stopping that deal is a 50% sell-on clause. So for me, when I'm looking at it, just buy him, pay the $5 million. If you have him for 5 years, just do old school. Just let him go as a free agent. If no one comes in for an offer from him at the end of his contract, everyone wins from it. Like, it's only $1 million a season when you think about it. We do need reinforcements. Like, I'm not confident with Duhan as a number 2. You're looking at the amount of goals we've conceded over the last 14 games, pre-season, cup games, league games. It's a game of football. We're still leaking goals, and I don't know if that's just down to, Carter Vickers coming back in, trying to find his feet. We have had inconsistency at the centre backs. Well, yeah, funny enough, we still win a league and still win a double, but we need I think Sinisalo, coming in from Schmeichel, I wish Sinisalo was in earlier in the season.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
I think it was just selfish conduct from Schmeichel trying to keep his international hopes alive. When he played that 27 games in the league, he conceded 27 goals.
See, that's the thing. But I think as well, but to me, it was a lot of sort of favouritism, maybe from Martin. On his part, I mean, we're going, he deserves his chance here, but you're going, like, you look at the weight he'd put on as well, I mean, and like, he was just, the mistakes he was making, and you're going, like, when does he go give this guy a chance? When does he, it took him to basically get injured for him to come into the team. So it did, like, so I think, like, he hasn't really, like, he's done well from he's been in. I mean, do you think is he warranted being dropped or somebody else coming in? Like,
I think he's a good shot stopper. I just think it's the distribution the issue. You seen against St. Mirren in the semi-final, he was all over the shop. He was lucky to get out of jail with that one. Someone's saying in the comments we should get Pope. I don't think Nick Pope is going to come to Celtic. He was on $100,000.
No way.
A week.
No chance. No.
It's definitely not going to happen. Like, he is a good shot stopper, Pope, but he has a lot of mistakes in him as well. I think people are buying into all the Pope's 11 and all that stuff, but I think there's better quality keeper out there.
But he has aspirations of basically playing for, like, England and stuff. I mean, Nick Pope still as well. Yeah. So there's no way he's gonna, like, come to us. Not a chance of it, wasn't like.
So someone was saying in the comments about Troy Parrott. Troy Parrott is meant to be going to West Ham for 18 million from Alkmaar.
See, speaking of West Ham, what do you think of Angleton? Do you think it's going to happen?
I think it's gonna happen before we play the first leg of that Champions League. I think they're gonna maybe come in for a bid today, or not today, tomorrow or Monday. I don't think nothing will be done over the weekend. I think they'll pay the 25 million. The reason why, they have 90 million from parachute payments, and then they sold one of their key midfielders to Spurs for 85 million. So there's money in the bucket there with West Ham.
It's a shame, like, because Engels has just sort of started to come good in that match at the weekend there. He was fantastic, like, so he was.
Yeah.
So, but I think if they are going to get rid of him, they need to hold out the biggest fee they can get, like. So obviously it might be too late to get somebody else in, but if they're going to sell him, it's no point selling him on the cheap, like.
Well, what I look at is, right, when we brought him in, like, I know he wasn't directly there to be Matt O'Reilly's replacement. We used Matt O'Reilly's money to bring him in. He's only scored 17 goals, and 12 of them have been penalties. So you're getting that for a 22-year-old that hasn't been in the Belgian team for 6 months. That's pretty decent going back with Champions League and Europa League experience.
See, the other big one was talking about Alistair Johnson going to Everton. So what's this news on this injury? Do you know how bad it is, or what's going on with it?
6 weeks he's out for.
Again, like, so it's like, is it a recurring injury I've already had before?
I think it's a hamstring injury. I didn't really look into the story, but I've seen 6 weeks. To be honest with you, it's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a bad thing for him not playing, but it's a good thing that maybe it will stall a move for him until January, because there's no way he's going to pass a medical with an injury for 6. He's going to be out for 6 weeks.
Who's this? The other Canadian boy they were talking about?
Nico Siguru. He plays for Haji Split. He can play right back and he can play defensive midfield and centre back. Looks like a pretty decent player. He's valued about 4 million. 2 years left in his contract. He's 5'11". He's played 22 times for Canada and 2 goals. Looks like a unit. We were linked to him back in January, but we didn't actually put any bids in for him. So it's all rekindled interest. You know yourself, Ro. We can walk into the shop and pick up loads of pairs of jeans and walk around them and don't buy them.
But listening on the Martin today, and he had said about they were looking at Hassan from January. I didn't know that at all. Like, so didn't were you aware of that, were you? I
heard it was meant to be from March, and to be honest with you, when I heard it, I was like, are they just making this up, or is this like just a World Cup jumping on the case? Like, we battled off he's meant to go back to Villarreal. Like, I was reading stories that Villarreal have 40% sell-on clause with this deal. I wouldn't be surprised, because he was at Villarreal for 3.5 years. Didn't really get a breakthrough. It was all B team. And then Marseille wanted him as well. But I've been hearing that Marseille are broke. I don't know if it's true or not. They're selling a few players. It's they're gonna go down the same line as Lyon. Remember, Lyon went out of business. So it's happened to a lot of the French teams, because PSG is obviously dominating French football.
Well, there we go. Richard, listen, I think we're going to leave it here, Keith, for this week. But hopefully we're going to get you on every week if we can. Obviously just with other guests on the set. But so listen, just before we go, how you settling? I know you've been in Glasgow for a while now, but how you sort of, is this your home now? Like, I mean, you go back to Dublin eventually?
No, I'm not moving back to Dublin. It's too expensive to move back to Dublin. I'll never own my house over there. Even paying $750 a Guinness in Dublin is just scandalous. No, I moved over here 4 years ago. I'm starting to get a little bit more games in. I'm starting to obviously get more match day experiences. I just feel more happier over here. I just feel like people understand you more, and especially when you have that chat about Celtic. You know yourself, in Dublin, it's all Man U and Liverpool. You get the odd Celtic fan.
I know.
But no, love it over here. Love that I'm going to be the plan is to start going up to the stadium and do fan interviews before games.
Vlogs and all that. Yeah.
Just start to get and then maybe going down the line of maybe going to visit a CSC once a week and interviewing a couple of people from random CSCs and stuff. So I have a few things down the pipeline, but I'm hoping that we'll do well now on Saturday. Maybe we'll see Mika Barr and Hassan make their debuts on Saturday night. I just don't want Martin O'Neill back in the dugout if he's not 100% yet.
Oh, yeah, I know, exactly, yeah. Right, so listen, Keith, we will hopefully see you back on the same time next week. Whenever we might have another couple of players. And by then, good man, Keith, talk to you on. Cheers. Thanks.
Cheers, Rob. Thank you very much.
There you go, folks. That was Keith from Mon Hoops Celtic. So, I think you're all loving that wee bit of a Celtic chat. Say, we always do, before, even when on the old Rebel podcast, we always talk about Celtic on the show each week. So, I think for doing this new bit, I wanted to bring him in. I say it might mean a few less songs being played every week, but I think everybody seems to be enjoying this wee bit. So listen, we're going to say we'll have Kieran Davenport on live from 9 o'clock, and say again, this interview tonight with Kieran. It's going to be a bit lengthy, so it is, because I think he's a good story to tell there, and I've got a pretty lengthy interview laid out for him, so I have. But a lot of good stories and a few things we're going to talk about that you mightn't expect that we'll talk about, you know what I mean? But again, folks, if anybody comes up on the show, we'll start saying about get this crap off, get the tunes on. James McWhale, could you pretty please get the revs on? Right, well, I'm going to play about 2 or 3 songs, and then we're going to have Kieran on. So somebody asked me earlier on to play a bit of the Provost Lullaby from Off the Rise. This is from their album Live at the Barlands. Fantastic album. Here we go.
Please welcome on to stage Glasgow's #1 Irish rebel band, the mighty Athenry!
So go to sleep, my weary Provo. Let the time go them by. Can't you hear the bullets humming? That's a Provo's lullaby. Well, I know, your clothes are worn and tattered, and your hair, it's turning slightly grey. Someday, you'll die and go to heaven. You'll find peace again someday. So go to sleep, my weary Provo. Let the time go drift and by. Can't you hear the bullets humming? That's a Provo's lullaby. Well, I know, the fiddlers give you trouble. Your day cause trouble everywhere. Someday, you'll die and go to heaven. There'll be no black bastards over there. This man, the all you say. So go to sleep, my weary Provo. Let the time go drift and by. Can't you hear the bullets humming? That's a Provo's lullaby. Okay, folks, let's see the hands of the earth. So go to sleep, my weary Provo. Let the time go drift and by. Can't you hear the bullets humming? That's a Provo's lullaby. Yes, that's a Provo's lullaby.
There we go, folks. That is a bit of Athenry there. Live at the Barlands for you with Provo's Lullaby. Probably one of my favourite songs from that album. I play it all the time. That's one of them little tunes you bang your bottles off the table and off. So it is. So we're going to play 2 more songs here, and then we'll have Kieran on. So we're going to play a bit of Chris Carney next, and then we're going to play the song from Kieran's newest album. So we are. But just as you can see on the screen now, folks, there are Rebel Sundays at the Rock Bar this week. So say again, cheers out to Connor, Brandy, and Big Sean. The Rock are sponsoring the new show, so thank you very much. So we're going to be putting there, obviously, Rebel Sundays is sponsoring the show. So this is what's happening this week in the Rock. 2 to 4 Katrina O'Reilly, so that's Matt's sister, you all know Katrina. And then 68, Marty McGuinness of Twice Daily. Then 8 to 10, resident Jerry O. And then from 10 to 12, the Spirit of Freedom, the two Tonys. And you may have seen this here, folks. I just teased it last night and this morning as well. So after a break last year that we had no big fans gathering on, and basically I didn't think I was ever going to do one of these shows ever again, if I'm being honest. But and I know this is going to stress me out for the guts of the lack of months now before we do this here, but the big fans gather is back. So Big Fans Gathering 5 is going to be taking place on Saturday, the 5th of December at the Rock Bar in association with Q Holland Artist Management Promotions. The lineup has been secured. Ticket details will be released next week, and we'll release the lineup next week on next week's show as well. So we'll just keep us all in a bit of suspense. So what's going on there? I just hear a wee bit of buzzing in my ear in the background. I don't know what that is. So we'll jump in a few more comments before we do this next song. The Irish Sound Hotel booked. Oh, Michael, are you serious now? I thought you would have drove your camper van down. Told you could have parked it in the rallies if you want to. James McWhale, right? James, I think you've had enough chances, okay, by putting on stuff like this here, and it's not going to be tolerated, mate, in the comment section. Obviously, you're a new listener to the show. I don't know if you're a troll or who you are or whatever, but don't be putting stuff up like this here, okay? On my page. I'm not even going to read out what you've put on here so people can see it, but no, you're going to be banned from now. So cheerio. James McWhale is gone. Wee Jim says you have a brilliant show. Nora Wright, how you doing? Andrew Bislin, good song. Wee Jim, brilliant song. So he is. There's Marty Heaney on. How you doing, Marty? Yo, Toby Mac, Ireland. How's you, Cara? Let's see, I think that's everybody caught up. Right, so we're going to play a bit of Chris Carney now, and then we will play Kieran's song from his recent album. So this is Chris Carney from Live at Patter Brown's with my favourite all-time Rebel song, The Ballad of Willie and Danny. But the way Chris plays this here is just phenomenal. Here we go.
This is a song that's dedicated to two brave IRA volunteers from Derry by the name of Willie Fleming and Danny Doherty. Song known as Willie and Danny. Try to sing some songs of glory, sing some songs of peace, but in the end it's the same old story. They're both too hard to reach. People tell me they're sick and they're tired of seeing this place run down, and I say, take your blindfolds off, you hypocrites, and help us get off the ground. Please say it isn't so. Why Willie and Danny had to go. The reason's very clear. They're laying down their lives for us year after year. 70 shots between their bodies, not one of those bullets missed. But for every trigger that they pull that morning, a volunteer they will enlist. For 5 long hours they left them lying there. The priest was turned away. That's another step lower. But let's say yes, masters, we will never forget the day. isn't so. Why Willie and Danny had to go. The reasons are clear. They're laying down their lives for us year after year. Heroes were to prove their worthiness. As thousands they marched from the streets, as the horse so wisely hovered helplessly overhead as the ride came out to select. They emptied their magazines o'er each coffin as defiantly the crowd were sent. That's another day that dawns and the guns will be out again, because Willie and Danny are friends. Please say it isn't so. Why Willie and Danny had to go. The reasons are clear. They're laying down their lives for us year after year. Please say it isn't so. Why Willie and Danny had to go. Yes, the reasons are clear. They're laying down their lives for us year after year. Please say it isn't so. Only Claire and Danny Doherty, thank you.
Paddy dear, and did you hear the news that's going round? The shamrock is by law forbids a crow and Irish crown. Come more St. Patrick's Day, we'll keep his colours can't be seen, for there's a cruel law against the wearing of the green. I met with Napper Tandy and he took me by the hand. He says, how's dear old Ireland and how does she stand? She's the most distressful nation that I have ever seen, for they're hanging men and women for the wearing of the green. And since the colour we must wear is England's bloody red, old Ireland's sons will never forget the blood that they had shed. Then take the shamrock from your hand and cast it on the soil. It will take wooden clottage though, so underfoot it's trod. When the law can stop the blades of grass from growing as they grow, and when the leaves in summertime their verdure does not show, then I'll change the colour I wear in my gibing. But till I day, please God, I'd stick to the wearing of the green. If at last her colour should be torn from Ireland's heart, her sons with shame and sorrow from the dear old soil part, I read whispers of a nation that lies beyond the seas, where rich and poor stand equal in the light of freedom's day. Must we leave you driven by a tyrant's hand, and seek a mother's blessing in a strange and foreign land? For the cruel cross of England's there, never known to be seen, but we'll thank God and live and die still wearing Ireland's green. But we'll thank God and live and die still wearing Ireland's green.
There we go, folks. There's Kieran Davenport with the Word on the Green, his latest album last year, Fighting at Home. And so, Kieran, thanks very much for joining us this evening, live from sunny Santa Ponsa, mate.
Sunny Santa Ponsa indeed. That's been a bit of a heat wave, so I can see the sweat peeing out me, and it's 10 at night here.
Oh, so obviously it's not Dumbarton. But so what how's you? Are you out there playing for a while this week or what? Or what's
I
happening?
am. I'm over for 17 days. So
Jesus, okay.
I arrived on Tuesday there and I'm back home 2 weeks today. So looking forward to it. It's always good fun to get catching up with other musicians and that out here, especially the ones that are out here the majority of the year. You don't see much of them. So
Right.
that's nice to catch up.
So is Michelle putting you in a hotel, or are you bunking up with Marty and all?
No, she's got me my own place up in the holiday park, so
very
nice
good.
and quiet. Yeah,
Not used to the old times then, up there in that bloody bedroom, Evans.
That flat up above the Dubliner was some stories told there between us and Martin Darling and Shabeen and whoever else arrived over, but a wee bit too old for all that madness now.
That's it, quieting down, Emma. So listen, Kieran, it's been a good few years, I think, since I last seen you in person. I think probably last time was the old Derry City Social Club gig I was doing for Saoirse, and you were with Connor and stuff, a few other ones, whatever.
Would have been,
and I think at the time, like you can go on this if you want. You just sort of because only you've sort of spoken about it publicly. You just sort of had your weight loss and like the injection, or sorry, the operation. So how's that there been for you now? Like from like
life changing, to be honest.
Because you're like a different person. I mean, I know it's quite noticeable. Like
it's definitely been life changing. That whole array of different things. Probably just, I mean, I've always been a wee bit outspoken online and had a wee bit of banter with people. But another thing that's probably not really well known is just like my mental health in general, anxiety and stuff. Which the weight loss definitely helped with that. When I first started singing, when I first started gigging, I was always with Connor, so he kind of had that wee bit of a comfort blanket walking into pubs. But when I was doing my solo gigs, when I first started, it was horrific anxiety. You were just like sitting outside bars for an hour beforehand, no one to go in. So in that aspect, it's been brilliant. Also got 2 kids now as well, which I don't think I'd have been able to do with the size I was at, to be honest. So it definitely helped me being able to run about after them as well. So no, it's been good.
So I'm actually really considering getting it done myself next year, because I think obviously I've been doing these jobs, Manjaro now, and it's sort of working, but it's too expensive. It's just far too dear. So it's I think that's the only way I can do it, but we'll see. So obviously, Kieran, you've been around the scene for a very, very long time, so you have. Now we're not going to touch too much on the Glasnevin thing. Obviously, it may be a bit of a touchy subject to talk about, but obviously you sort of cut your teeth in the scene originally playing mandolin, right, with Connor in Glasnevin. But just something you mightn't know, and I wanted to sort of put this to you. So last Easter Monday, right, I was doing a gig with the Irish Brigade up in the Roddies. We brought them up and I was playing before and after them, and obviously I was playing a few tunes, and I stuck on obviously Wally and Danny's my favourite song. Just I think it's basically your version and the Callie's main live version is like the two versions I really like. So I played the Glasnevin version, and Jerry was just sitting at the side of me, and he was on his iPad, and as soon as the mandolin came in, his ears just flicked up. So he did, and he was like, "No, look, I'm going." So whenever the song was finished, he came up to me and he says, "Who was that there played there?" And I said, "That was Glasnevin, at Kieran Davenport there, so it was." And he says, "I tell you now," he says, Kieran, he says he's way up there and very, very top of any of the best mandolin players I've ever had on stage with me, ever played with, like. So that's high praise coming from Jerry, like. I think
really is. I've always enjoyed that.
I think even them trusting you obviously to play mandolin on their Graces album as well. I mean, to come in and play with them, it's a big thing. So it is. So. Hold on a second. Just I have this here interview on my phone and it keeps freezing. So you've been playing now for solo for a few years, right? Do you sort of so obviously you're mainly playing acoustic guitar. Do you not sort of miss playing the mandolin the odd time, jumping in with somebody and stuff, whatever? I mean, because you've done it for so long, like.
Big time. I was chatting to a few singers about that recently, actually, about maybe just doing a few wee different projects. Often feel like sometimes you look in a bar, and I'm very appreciative of my gigs, but it can be 4 solo singers back to back, and then say they'll throw in a 2 or 3 piece maybe in the bigger days, and they just get a lot more interaction as well, especially if you get 2 people on stage, 3 people on stage, they're bouncing off each other a wee bit more, especially when you get like a sort of a tight sound going on as well. You can have a wee bit more fun with it. I was chatting to McGinty, plays drums for Shabeen the other day, and we were chatting about that as well, just about the camaraderie of being in a band and just knowing what you're going to get into next. Like, for example, like with Shabeen, you would be playing with them sometimes and you could go for one song into something completely different, into something completely mad, and then back to a song, and it just flowed. And Glasnevin, we sort of took a lot of influences for that and done the same. And then playing with the Irish Brigade as well for a year and a bit. It got to the stage where we're doing that as well. Like you knew the sort of wee medleys and stuff, and it was just, I love playing the mandolin. I still do to this day. So I'm hoping to get back into it in some capacity with maybe a couple of other singers of that, and it just makes for a wee bit more interesting for us and for the crowd.
Now, you touched on this a bit back a bit there. So obviously you would have been quite vocal on social media pretty recently about your own mental health, and this is obviously a massive thing for young people and guys in general. But obviously you're pretty well known in the public eye. We'll say on the rebel scene anyway. You would be known to be quite sort of a sarcastic and a joker on social media, probably, but very like myself, but also like myself as well behind the scene and the stage. You're just a normal guy. I mean, it's a different persona. I mean, like it's the same as me. I have my sort of DJ Rowe like persona where I can go out and play to thousands of people, have a bit of crack, but behind the scenes, I'm a completely like I think a recluse sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I made the sort of decision to step away from the podcast probably a year ago, more for my own mental health. So it was because, you know yourself with this scene, it's very bitchy and there's a lot of shit goes on, and it was probably more the mentally draining shit that I was dealing with that I had to take a step back with, and I couldn't do it anymore. So tell us a wee bit just about your own sort of struggles with mental health, because I know this is interest to a lot of people who'll be watching this. Like,
I would like to say that probably a lot of people will say they know me, they know the pub me, the one that comes into the pubs and hangs about and has a drink and plays a gig and all that. But I've got a very, very, very small number of actual close friends. Like a really small, and a group, it's boys I grew up with in Dumbarton. So I'm lucky I've still got them, my brother and stuff as well. So a kind of close knit community with them. But my mental health probably took a deterioration about 12 years ago when I lost my dad. And I just, grief in general, isn't it really? And then as time went on, you think you're getting over it and something else crops up. And it always kind of just went back round to grief, really, because you think you were going over things, and then we lost Big Skin as well, and that was a hard one to take. Especially over COVID, where you couldn't, it's not as much you couldn't grieve, it wasn't my place, it's not like he was a family member to me, he was just a very good friend, but just with
there's so many people. I think I was actually not just yourself, but I remember the pull the hearse outside the squirrel and all whatever, and that was the only way people were able to sort of say goodbye to him at all. So it was like,
so it was just things like that. And then I think over the years you think I get quite homesick, to be honest, when I'm away travelling. I do enjoy it, don't get me wrong, but you combat homesickness with then going out and having a drink, and you're just spiralling yourself into madness, really. But probably about this time last year, I decided, last December, I think I decided to get a wee bit of a grip, and I thought, right, I'm going to go to the doctor and speak about it and just try and see what options there are out there. I kind of knew the backline problems, which I'm not going into, just different things which I can't help myself with as well. But the doctor helped with a few different suggestions at few different organisations, and I kind of fell in with a group called Andy's Man Club. And I've tried going to the AA before, and I don't think I've ever really had a major problem with alcohol. I have at different stages of my life, like after I lost my dad, drank myself silly, blah blah blah, but it's never been a consistent thing. I don't wake up every day wanting a drink or anything, but I was just using it as a coping mechanism. So I never really thought I fitted into the AA very well. So I tried it a few times, and it was decent, and it helped me when I needed it. But I tried Andy's Man Club, and it's just basically a big group of guys. I thought it was going to be all young boys. I'm 40 now, and I was one of the youngest ones there the first night I went. Right. And you're just sitting in a circle, telling your story. You start off with sort of a bit of background about yourself, something that's got you down that week, and then a positive. And then the last two questions that you answer they're just daft. It can be like, what's your favourite movie, or what's your favourite sandwich? So you're ending on a wee bit of high as well, and then you hang about at the end. You can get a coffee, or some of them maybe go a walk and stuff in the summer after the club's finished and that. So it's nice. It's been, and where I live now as well, I'm well out with Glasgow, and it was nice to meet. I'd never socialise really where I'm from, because all my weekends are taken up in Glasgow gigging. So it was nice to meet people that I probably wouldn't have bumped into otherwise. But it's one of the things. It's something that's not going to change overnight. But if I can make continuously wee changes and just talk about it to people, to be honest, you've forever had people saying, meet me for a coffee, or blah blah blah. Mum will do
Yeah,
something, and I never took them up on the offers to recently, and it's been really good. So. It's definitely helped, and see, just like especially over here as well, just getting up in the morning and going a wee walk. I quite enjoy my own company, so I would just go down and get a coffee and sit and people watch here.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Very like myself, like as well. So,
and
like, so I played a song at the start of the show from your most recent album, your solo album. Probably my most favourite song from it definitely is The War on the Green. So you've named the album, right, Fighting and Hoping, and obviously there's a picture in the front of the Long Cash Escape image from the front cover. So tell us a wee bit about choosing that picture, why you sort of chose the name of the album, and also the sort of wide variety of tracks on the album, how you came to selecting them. Like,
well, Glass and Evan, we were always big at, like, very interested in history stuff anyway, but particularly James Connolly, we took a wee, like, we were quite avid readers on the background of him, and especially all his old political writing that you don't really find very much. And Fighting and Hoping was something he used to sign letters off with. So when I first seen that, it was kind of always in my head, I thought that's a good wee name for an album. And then with the album cover, I just thought with the passing a Bic at the time as well, it's quite an apt way. My album covers have always kind of been a wee bit different anyway. They're never obvious, like somebody picks that up and to them it's just an abandoned van. But it's just the Long Cash Escape van. I played with Spirit Freedom as well back in the day, and obviously Tony Kelly was involved in that. So
yeah.
I just thought it was a nice wee touch as well if I could do it. And I don't think I actually get any CDs of that made. So maybe I couldn't honestly tell you, but obviously CDs are a dying thing these days, unfortunately. But I just had to come up with some sort of cover.
It's a far cry from Colonel Gaddafi on your front.
I know, that's
cover.
it. There's some array of different covers on there, but aye.
Yeah, so obviously, as you said yourself, we're well past the sort of years of releasing an album on the CD, whatever. I think even maybe now, even releasing albums on the like USB pens, obviously now it's all make the music and put it straight on the streaming sites, Spotify and Apple Tunes and whatever and stuff. But tell me this here, see when you're sort of getting into making an album, obviously you sort of play a lot of instruments. Obviously you can play the mandolin, guitar, bass. So do you play all these on yourself?
Aye, all my solo albums, bar the very first one, which was live in Berlin, that was recorded obviously over there, and it was just me playing guitar, me singing. The rest of the albums I've done exclusively myself. At the start of COVID, I got a good laptop and all the recording equipment, and I just sat down, and with the help of Crookie, that plays with the weights and stuff, Chris gave me a good bit of advice with it. Just started recording as much as I could. I mean, it's not the best sounding in the world, but the fact I can do it all myself and I've got the time, I'm low on the Clockware Studio, which can be extremely expensive.
Yeah, definitely.
And I've got a storage unit full of different instruments as well. So I've thrown like stuff like glockenspiel. I couldn't play the glockenspiel, but I mean, I just played about with it a wee bit so as I could get a solo for Admiral William Brown in it.
So what's the process of that there? I mean, should you just record each sort of instrument, a bit of the song, and then just master them all together yourself, Nick? Or
I would start off with the guitar. I'd normally do them one song at a time. I did try doing like maybe 4 or 5, but then you're going back and going, what verse did I? Is there a solo coming up after this verse? So I just tend to concentrate on one song. I'll do the guitar, then I'll do the vocals, bass, mandolin, and then whatever other instruments I want to throw on top, and then I kind of just mix it together as best I can.
See, just talking, something just in my head there of instruments. I think it might have been one of the last one you maybe done with Glass and Evan. Did you use something like a bottle with race or something in it?
We did, aye.
For like an instrument?
Yes, the 1, 2 and kick, and we just felt it needed something. But it was the middle of COVID. I mean, that was the June when COVID had kicked off. We recorded that in Connor's living room. So we couldn't just pop to a music shop and buy a maraca. So it was just dried rice in a bottle, and it done the job as well. But you look back and you think some of the people must think we're locked in this big expensive studio with all these instruments, and then now you're sitting in somebody's living room waiting for the bus to go away for you outside.
That's madness. Just talking there on the streaming sites. So I mean, obviously, so before, so like you might have been able to recoup some sort of money when you're releasing CDs and stuff, whatever. I mean, if you're obviously going in the book studio $10, but I think see now, like you're having to put everything straight onto these sites. You've maybe put on a lot of albums over the years, maybe the Glass and Evan stuff, or even your own. I mean, have you been able to sort of recoup anything at all? I mean, do you have to sort of get massive downloads before you look at any couple of pages? You're
probably looking at maybe for it to be kind of financially viable, you're looking at maybe 20,000 plus 40 listeners a month, and
Right.
I don't have that, but it ticks me over, and you get the sort of statistics back every few months, and it'll tell you where people are listening as well. And you're looking in sort of like my random countries in Africa and Asia, and you think these people would never have bought a CD when we were doing it. Like it was just wasn't possible at the time. So, and you kind of need to take the bad with the good. Like a Spotify are just rinsing artists left, right, and centre. But at the end of the day, we really don't have any other option just now. So you just grin and bear it.
It's actually, what's that film? It's actually a very good movie they made about it, but when you watch it, I mean, the only ones winning here is them ones, like. I mean, it's all these artists. I mean, they're going in and they're putting it, and they've no choice but to put it on Spotify because nobody has CD players now. I mean, nobody even has. A lot of the newer cars haven't got a USB pen to put in, so they haven't. So it's all streaming. So say they're just rinsing it, like, I mean, of people. So it doesn't seem very fair, but again, it's your only option to get your music out in it, like.
It is, but the plus side to it as well is it's opened up so many artists for me as well, like singers I've never heard of, even like some of the older rebel bands where you just couldn't get physical CDs, like you've got old Wolfhound stuff, Barleycorn stuff, obviously all the bands that are still going just now, everybody's put their back catalogues on as well, because you can't go and physically really buy a CD anywhere now. So it's good that a new generation are getting introduced to that music as well, and it's also good to just be able to log. I mean, if you're driving into town or going out a walk or something, you can just put on a shuffle. And It's
especially
good
for me as well. It's great. I mean, because it's basically there at the touch of a button now. Any song that's ever been recorded, it's there. You can use. You know what I mean? Where before you're having to go out and dig CDs out and play them all, which is a nightmare. So over the last few years, Kieran, Rich, obviously you've got married and you've 2 kids in the world now yourself. So tell me this here: how has sort of becoming a father changed you? Has it sort of made you rein in your old partying days before you would have been like? I mean, obviously, I'm sure now it has to be. Like, I mean, you have no choice.
Your
like,
priorities just change completely, as you know. So you go for basically just being able to do what you want one day to then being responsible for this tiny wee baby, and it's been great. I've really, really enjoyed it. Like I love all the daft wee classes we go to and stuff, and just watching. It's particularly Luca the now because he's 2.5. Watching him run about at all these places, telling wee stories, singing songs, and all that's great. And like I do my midnight gig in Malone's on a Sunday, so I'm not home till 3 in the morning, and then you're up and out 8 o'clock in the morning some days the next day. But you just get on with it. It's just part of life, isn't it? And it's good. You just need to have a look at the kids, and then you're happy.
Yeah. Now, just on that subject, you just saying there, I would be following you a lot on social media and watching you're putting your stuff up with the kids and all, which is great. Now, sort of on the subject of being a dad, now, because I sort of follow your stuff, now, I am waiting on the post from you for whenever your wee lad goes to school his first day, because see, you were one of the first ones every single year when all these people were putting a post up of all the wee Johnny in his uniform, and you were putting that image up of like your man out of the Goonies going up with the school uniform on, going, here we go, there's Billy. And he's like, I can't wait to the day his wee lad is starting school.
I'm just going to take it.
He's going to be the first one up. I mean, and you're going with dog's boots for it, so like for mocking all us over the last few years, so so listen, tell me this here. Tell me about these here, the Sunday sessions in Malone's, right? Because actually, obviously, you're posting up doing the 12 o'clock shift. I mean, see to me, like, it seems like to me there's yourself and Chris Candy sitting there with a dog or something. I mean, watching you. I mean, does there be a crowd at late on a Sunday? I mean, is there?
Honestly, you'd be surprised how busy it is, and I always say that to people. The good thing with Malone's, especially on the Sunday, is you get a lot of people for all the bars around it, because all the bars shut at 11, half 11. So you've got Lee McGrando's on downstairs 9:30 to 11:30, and then I'm on upstairs at midnight. So they'll open that up, and you'll get staff in for other bars, you'll get punters in for other bars. You also got a lot of Irish ones in as well that are maybe going back home early doors on Monday after a weekend, and it's just no worthwhile financially to book a hotel when they can sit in Malone's till 3 in the morning, get a few pints, then head to the airport. So it makes sense for that way. And Malone's have been very consistent, along with Kitty O'Shea's as well in Glasgow, are opening at 3 o'clock every day of the week, like regardless, and they'll put music on, and it's been great, because like when we started doing this, it was, you were just confined to the Gallagate really, and it was just weekends. You would rarely ever play during the week. Even when Celtic played in Europe, there wasn't really many bars putting music on. But whereas now, you just need to look at it, and you've got dozens of bars to choose from between the Gallagate and also City Centre, and even wider out as well. I play out in Shettleston before the games in a bar called Sheddons, and it's great. It's rammed with the locals and also a bus that stops in for Fife going to the games.
So is there any other sort of regular ones in Glasgow you play in now? I mean, which would bring in like regularly, like sort of during the week or weekends, or?
Well, I do quite a lot with my loans. Obviously, they're open all the time and they've got music on every night of the week, so I do a lot in there. In the toll booth, quite a lot as well. Kitty O'Shea's as well. I do probably do the Edinburgh one more than I do the Glasgow ones, to be fair. I do Sheddons up at Celtic Park, the Vogel in Rutherglen, Chapman's in Rutherglen. So you get a bit of the Squirrel Bar as well, which is always nice to get back in and play. So there's
at their toll booth place now. I've anytime over in Glasgow, I always call in for a pint of everybody walking around. I've never been at night time when there's entertainment on, so I've been just during the day. But it's a real random bar, like it's what is real strange, like
it's one of the iconic venues as well, though, because you can go in and like on a Thursday, I think it's karaoke, and then a Friday it could be an Irish singer, it could be a cover singer, and it's just the most eclectic mix of people you'll ever meet. You'll have obviously all the Celtic fans in and days like that, but if Celtic on the plane, it's just a mixture of all boys wanting their pints, and then just maybe you get quite a lot of tourists in as well because they're at the Glasgow Cross for their pictures or whatever. So no, it's one of my favourite gigs, and it always has been. Me and Connor used to do it maybe about 15 years ago. We used to, for a few months, we were doing during the week gigs in there as well, and it was just crazy to us anyway. We two young boys getting paid to play music on a Tuesday afternoon. So, and there's still the same faces in it that were in back then.
Marty McGuinness, our good friend there from Twice Daily, just said, Kieran, are you playing anywhere before the game Wednesday?
Next Wednesday.
Before the last game? He must be over for the match, is he?
Unless he's over in Santa Ponsa. So.
Oh, actually, so I forgot. He's probably thinking you're over there, isn't it? Yeah. Actually, you're obviously doing the so it's a 1 hour difference, isn't it? Time difference over there.
1 hour ahead.
Yeah. Just I want to touch on this here, Kieran, a wee bit, right? Obviously, you've been involved in the rebel scene for a long time. You've been travelling a lot from Derry for a good lot of years, well, with yourself and Glasnevin and stuff, whatever. Now, it sort of took me a while and maybe a few years to come to this sort of mindset, right? Obviously, a lot of people know about the rebel music scene. Some people would say it's very bitchy. Some people would say it's very clicky. Whereas, like, you have certain promoters will only book certain singers can't play in certain bars, so they can't. And I think for me, it's a shame. So it is. I mean, obviously, a lot of people will think, oh, the whole scene, it's just roses in the garden, everybody gets on with each other and stuff, but it definitely isn't. I mean, but I sort of think. Actually, I do a bit of small promotion myself, as not massive, like, but in the rebel scene, that any singer should basically be allowed to go and do a gig anywhere. I mean, I think, see as long as they aren't standing on the stage and mouthing off and shouting off whatever their own different political, personal maybe agenda is, or they're doing it all over Facebook or whatever, and maybe somebody's coming at them or whatever. And to me, I don't think that's will ever happen. Like, but I mean, what's your thoughts on this sort of being on the scene with it, the way things go at the minute, because it is very, very toxic, so it is, like.
To be fair, I can see why the promotions companies are needed. Like, a lot of the ones that are with it are the bigger artists who are just too busy between life and work to be able to deal full time with all their travels and bookings as well. And you'll see quite a lot of the promotions companies, and you'll deal with yourself as well, bars messing about. And if you get through a promotions company, then you know having to deal with that personally. So especially for the bigger acts getting cancelled last minute and stuff, they're not then having to chase bars because the promotions company can deal with it. But I've spoken to a few singers about this recently as well, and I actually don't think it's as bad as what it's been in the past in terms of the bitchiness and stuff. I mean, you're always going to fall out between different people, and I'll no play there and he'll no play there and can he play for that. But I've always just been the mindset of if they're wanting to book me, I'm more than happy to do it. I've been doing gigs with EGB, been doing Search Promotions, still getting me gigs as well, and I'm not with them. Like, they're just good people that want to help bands out. So I'm kind of mindset, if places want to book me, I'm more than happy to. There's no a bar out there that I would say I'm not playing, or organisations and stuff as well. But I know what you mean. There is a lot of people that would maybe shun certain places, or they're maybe scared to offend others by playing here or there. But at the end of the day, we all want the same thing, and we all just want to play music and have a bit of crack as well. So I think the more open-mindedness people look at what we're doing in general, because the whole scene is changing. Obviously, the politics behind the scenes are changing, the venues are changing. If just need to look at the failure at the weekend there to see how popular the music is, like it's massive, and there's such a huge scope for all the bands and singers to really like to be doing it a lot more. You could technically be playing every day of the week and stuff, but you just also need to get the support behind you as well, the bars and stuff. It's a big risk for them. But I mean, you just have to look at the weekend there and the failure and stuff to see how popular Irish music is in general, let alone rebel music.
What's that? I mean, and it's not even just like the feel. I see that whole weekend of all the whole road of all the bars. I mean, it's just like at Sunday alone. I mean, I say I'd be playing the rock and stuff. They have a whole full day of stuff on, and then like I went up the park myself for a few hours, and then I was back down to the rock again later on. So it was like. And it wasn't as busy this year as previous years, but I think obviously the whole Wolf Tones hip would have had that. I mean, you're going to get just young ones and all travelling because it's the Wolf Tones, even though like the last few years they've done the feel, they made them the best. I mean, but people still went. But no, it's great to see. I mean, it's 10,000 people like standing there in a park watching like basically just people singing rah songs. Like I mean, where would you get that? Like I mean, it's
and even I think a huge buzz as well would be Kneecap as well, because I mean they're not a rebel band as such, but they're a very controversial band, as you know, and then to see like they must have got so many people involved with Irish music and just the whole culture behind it as well. Like, you wouldn't have seen that 10 years ago, so it's been great for that aspect. So I think maybe with the failure they've knocked it out of the park in terms of getting them on as well and having a big night with them. So but it's a lot to build on.
Definitely. So for a minute here, come on, sort of touch on our probably mutual beloved Celtic and probably mutual hatred of the board right now. So I know obviously you and me sort of too backward and coming forward on voicing your opinions. Like I know you've been supporting Celtic for a very, very long time, obviously you and your brother and your dad. What's your sort of views on what the sort of current situation is with like Desmond and Nicholson and what's happening at the minute? Like,
it's been chaos because I mean you look at the four new boys we brought in, all four of them look like they're going to be very good signings, particularly Who, and then these other two that we've been chasing for a while we've signed the past few days as well. So it was a wee bit unsettling when you're watching Rangers buying eight new players, but then you're looking and going, they're not going to make a difference really. I'd rather they spend sensibly, but at the same time, when the season finishes and we're losing 14, 15 players retiring, loan players come back, you just want new bodies in. But you also need to look at it from the board's point of view in terms of, well, we can't just be buying shite for the sake of it because it's just going to turn the fans more against us. But I
think in the past that's what they've actually done.
Panic
bought at the last minute and brought guys in, and then they didn't even get the other bloody team. Where I think obviously the likes of these players they've brought in now, they're busy straight probably into the first team players, and like they're spending big money on them, like which isn't like Celtic at all. So it isn't. Obviously there's like a running sort of joke going there about obviously Nicholson about the whole thing of Still Game where Tom gets electrocuted by a toaster and then he's splicing all the money and you're going like this isn't him, who's spent this money? It's definitely not him, like he hasn't got form for it, like so he hasn't.
Another worry for me with Celtic as well is the academy, like growing up like in the noughties going to the games and that when you're going yourself, we seem to have a great reserve team, and then they scrapped the reserve league. And I know they've got a B team and stuff now, and they've still got all that going on. I just feel there's a lack of ones coming through that you would throw in. Like, it's great to see Big Dane Murray and all that. Even Anthony Ralston, he's still kicking about. Cal McGregor's obviously a product, James Forrest and stuff. Yeah. But I mean, we were chatting it was when Schmeichel retired, and we were saying we've not brought anything that resembles a goalkeeper through since David Marshall, and that was almost 25 years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
It starts to get a wee bit worrying then. I know Ross Doohan, he obviously started with Celtic, went away and he's back now, but he's never going to be number one. He's quite happy. No. He's just there to make the numbers up. But I just doesn't seem to be much going on with the academy, considering the money spent in Lennoxtown and how many different teams there are. But hopefully things look up anyway. But as long as we keep winning titles, I think it will just keep everybody happy and no rioting anyway.
I just see there now the Buns are out through there. They finished 1-1, so they're out 3-2 in aggregate through there. So
I seen it was 1-0 just before I came on.
It's but even at their team's name, Can't even, that's what he's saying. It's like a Wi-Fi password.
Sean, my brother, he's working camera at the match as well. He's been a bit of a lucky charm. He's done quite a lot of games at Ibrox.
I see him posting now. Very good.
I was there on Sunday as well, so I think he's a wee bit of a lucky charm here with Rangers getting beat. So hopefully they keep employing him there.
Here for a play to Sean last night. It's great to see him what he's doing now. Like it's
like, fine, doing really well.
Like it's brilliant. He's worked hard over the years to get what he's doing now. It's brilliant. So then we're going to do this wee thing before we do the song we're going to pick at the end. This is like obviously it's random. It's not to do the sort of rebel scene at all. It's just we're going to a wee quick fire sort of what about you sort of section. We're asking like 5 questions to all the guests. So first, favourite holiday destination?
Boston.
Boston,
I love it over there. Massachusetts in general because it's Cape Cod. We spend a lot of time in, but that area.
Obviously, probably when it's warm. Like I know, like over when it's cold.
I've been in the
St.
winter
Paddy's
as well,
Day, it's freezing. Like
I've been in the winter and it's great because it's a very accessible city. You can just walk about and go a wee pub crawl and different restaurants and stuff as well. I love that area in general.
Yeah. Favorite drink?
Guinness.
Is it like zero now or just Guinness? Like
no, I still have a drink. I still have a drink. Guinness. It was Murphy's for a while, but I sick myself with it, so Guinness.
Favorite food?
Pasta, probably some form of pasta.
Would that have been different before you had your operation done? Like, would have been a different answer? Like,
just the portion sizes. To be honest, I can't handle spice anymore. It just kills me for hours after it. So probably just a seafood pasta.
Favorite film?
That's a good question. Probably go with Happy Gilmore.
What one? The first one or the second one?
The first one, it's just a happy movie.
The second one was a bit cheesy, so it was, but it was
I quite liked it, but
it
was nothing on the first,
Oh, definitely not. And then, favourite non-rebel artist and song?
Favourite non-rebel artist? I've got such a wide array of taste in music, so I don't want to get too obscure. Geez, you really put me on the spot. I love the Corries. The Corries, probably Bonnie Dundee. I love that song. I grew up with my mum singing that. So the Corries.
How old's that there?
That's 70s probably that.
Right. So, I think somebody actually picked that song before when I was doing a podcast with somebody when it was on the old SoundCloud days. They picked that actually song, so it was random.
That's
right, so listen, so folks, that was our wee little what about you? We're going to do that with all the guests every week. So before I let you go, Kieran, again, cheers for coming on. It's very much appreciated. Thanks for sort of opening up a wee bit for us. Listen, so we're going to do. We'll play a song from the artist if they have anything recorded, and then at the end we'll get you to pick a song. Can be one of your own, can be just one of your favourite tracks. So what sort of song have you went for as you wanted to play tonight?
Cruncher O'Neill singing Only a Rivers. I was out here with Cruncher about 10 years ago playing, and I'd obviously met him over the years and at nights out with him and stuff, but I'd never been in his company for a prolonged period of time, certainly no sober anyway. So over here was a completely different kettle of fish. So just getting to know him as a person, hearing his stories, it was amazing person. Just what a life he lived as well. Will be sadly missed. Definitely.
Well, just see on the subject of Cruncher there, I mean, Kieran, obviously you had sort of talked earlier on about your mental health and your drinking and stuff and whatever, and I mean, I think probably one of the biggest privileges in my life was when I got to sit down with Cruncher out up in the rallies, and it was before we'd done this podcast, and he opened up a lot of stuff for me I didn't even expect him to. I didn't really want him to, but what he more or less told me was, he said, listen, look, when he brought up himself about sort of drinking and stuff, and he's like, that has basically ruined my life, it's ruined my career, it's ruined my family, and I think obviously in the end as well, it's probably sort of took his life. I mean, the long-term effects of it, so it has, like, so I think it's just something for everybody to think about. But
especially when you're in this game and you're about the pubs all the time, it's one of the things that's always there, unfortunately.
Yeah, so that's what he was sort of telling me. He said, listen, you're up on stage and people are just throwing pints up to you, and you're and he said, you're just drinking them, I mean, and before you know it, you're steaming, and it's just relentless, I mean. And
it was great to see over here. He was off the drinking stuff, so it was great to see him back, like, just that voice, you hear it from a mile away and knows exactly him. So it was great to have him over here, and he was in top form, really top form. I enjoyed my days out with him and all that. Over here we'd just go and get a coffee or a smoothie and just sit and chat, and he would just hit out with the most random things to strangers, and he just kept you on your toes constantly.
Definitely. I was out one day at Mickey's Old Festival in Bundoran with him when he was playing, and that was actually we're just sitting up in the town somewhere, myself and Big Zach as well, God rest him, and just see some of the stuff Cruncher was coming off of, like, and you're going, and Jack was like, mate, this is just, I had to deal with this 24/7. I was like, this is just him. So I mean, it's again, he was a legend. The guy's just like, here after when he passed away, like, everybody had so much love for him, like, so it is.
He did. I just need to look at the size of the funeral and the amount of people that have sent messages and that. So I definitely well deserved send off.
So we're going to play Terry Crunch O'Neill from his album Festival of Irish Folk, and this is a fantastic song, Only Our Rivers Run Free. So Kieran, listen, enjoy the rest of your time there in Brennan's and Santa Ponds. Have a good crack. So, and again, thanks very much for coming on, mate. Appreciate it.
Cheers. Worries, thanks for having me. Cheers.
Good luck. Talking about. There we go. For that was Kieran Davenport there, from sunny Santa Ponsa. Well, it's probably not so sunny now. It's it was 10 o'clock at night there. So that was our first guest of the brand new show folks, Kieran Davenport. And again, cheers for opening up on a few wee things that he's making us sort of expecting him to, which was good. So we're going to go straight into this here because we want to try and get loads more music on the show before 10 o'clock tonight. So here we go. Oh, for fuck's sake. What's this here? Paul Bagg. This is starting to bore me, Ro. Can you please play some ribs so I can wreck the house? I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, are you? I'm not sure. But it's good to see that the cream buns are out of Europe, I think, completely anyway, aren't they? So I don't know, do they go into the Conference League at all? I'm not sure. But yep, it's always good to see. Here we go. This is Terry Crunch O'Neill. This is Kieran Davenport's song choice, and it's Only Our Rivers Run Free.
When apples still grow in November, when blossoms still bloom on each tree, when leaves are still green in December, it's then that our land will be free. I wonder gills onto valleys, and still through my sorrow I see a land that has never known freedom, and will only our rivers run free. I drink to the death of her manhood, those men who would rather have died than to live in the cold chains of bondage, or to bring back the rights worth denied. Ah, but where are you now when we need you? What burns where the flame used to be? Are you gone like the snows of last winter? Them will only our rivers run free. How sweet is life, but we're crying. how mellow the wine that were dry, how fragrant the rose, but it's dying, how gentle the wind, but it sighs. What good is a youth when it's aging? What joy are in eyes that can't see when there's sorrow and sunshine and flowers, but only our rivers run free. Ah, but only our rivers run free, and only our rivers run free.
There we go, folks. That is Terry Crunch O'Neill with Only Our Rivers Run Free there for you, and that was Kieran Davenport's song choice. So it was. So again, Kieran, cheers for coming on the show. So again, just to say, folks, the Rock Bar are sponsoring the show. So again, cheers to Connor, Brandy, and Big Sean as well, the new manager of the bar, for coming along and supporting us. And if there's any other bar owners out there, folks, well, who want to maybe get a wee advert on the show, very much appreciated. Just send me a DM or give me a shout. You know where I am, and we can sort something out. So that is what's happening this week for Rebel Sundays. I think you all know. I mean, it's the Rebel Sundays has just jumped up, so it has, from the new lads took over. So this is this week's lineup. So from 2 o'clock to 4, Katrina O'Reilly, that's Matt's sister. 68, you can see Marty McGuinness on there himself commenting, he's on as well. 68, then Resident, Jerry Ogue, and then from 10 to 12, the two Tonys, Spirit of Freedom. So I'll just let you know as well what some of the guests will have planned coming up over the next 2 months. I wanted to sort of put it out there so everybody knew what was happening regarding the guests, I mean, so knew who had coming on and have an idea. So next week, so it's going to be the second week of the show, we have these two guys here. So Michael McCormick, who runs the Irish Sound podcast, which a lot of you might be aware of. It's sort of isn't a live show, but he puts it like usually one a month or sometimes one every couple of months on Spotify and all the other streaming sites. And then Johnny Costello, who does the live Rebel Roosters Irish radio show from Boston and over in America every Sunday. So it is. So we're going to have them two on. Basically, probably the first time we'll have all three people who do like a Rebel show who on the show together, which will be good crack. We'll just sort of clash heads, talk about a few things and burn a few ideas, right? And then on the following week, Thursday the 27th of August, Matt O'Reilly, again, who was playing on the field this week, on stage for Fair Play to him. Matt's going to be our main guest, and then also going to be joined by Sean Daly of Sean the Shams. They're going to be doing their Irish tour again. So that week that we're going to do the show, he's actually going to be in Belfast. I think they're going to be playing the Fallons on that Friday, the day after. So we'll get Sean on for a bit and talk about their Irish tour and stuff and what they're doing and how things are going with the Shams. And then the following week, the first week in September, probably the two most busiest girls in the Rebel scene at the minute. You don't see one of these without the other. It's Una Dunn and Clodagh McCulgan. So they're going to be joining us live from Derry, both at the same time on the screen. So that'll be good to have them both on for a chat. So it will. And then on the following week, on Thursday the 10th of September at 8 o'clock, we're going to be joined by two guests. So we have to cut the interviews sort of slightly shortish. We'll have Gary Gormley, who's known as One Shot Paddy, who lives over in America at the minute as well. And Peter O'Connell, obviously formerly of Clover. Peter's now on his own for the last few years. He's just released a new solo album, so we'll be talking about there. And then at the end of the month, before I head off to Gran Canaria for the Salt Lake Festival, the one I'm really looking forward to and cannot wait, it's going to be the whole band from the Rebel Hearts from Tipperary, one of my favourite Rebel bands on the scene. So we're delighted they're going to come to join us live on the show, the whole lot of them. It'll be a quite emotional interview as well for the lads to come on. So it will. So obviously was since the passing of Liam. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, folks. So we're going, just another wee thing here, are on you, asked me to put this up for you. If any of you haven't seen this play yet, it's called The Man Who Swallowed a Dictionary. It's all a play all about David Irvine. It was in the rallies before, so it was. So I'll just give you the details of it when it's going to be on. So if you want to buy yourself some tickets, it's going to be a great show. So it's going to be on Tuesday, the 29th of September this year. Doors open 8 o'clock and so it's one night only, so it is. Tickets are £15 behind the bar. So if you haven't had a chance to see us play yet, folks, the last time it was there, it was completely sold out, completely. Hopefully go and try and see it myself this time. So that's The Man Who Swallowed a Dictionary. So it is in the Rallies on Tuesday the 29th September this year, 8 o'clock. Tickets are £15 and are available behind the bar, so they are. So yep, that's what we're all sort of caught up. And maybe one more thing that I haven't mentioned is this here as well. So the big fans gathering 5, folks. I've already sort of spoke to a few people. I didn't do one of these last year, and I've been getting under a lot of pressure from certain people who know who you are to ask me to do another one. And sort of, I didn't think I'd be doing another one this year, but sort of came to the decision we're going to do it. So the lineup for this gig, folks, is fantastic, and I mean that it is fantastic. A lot of bands you mightn't expect are going to be playing at this here, the Big Fans Gathering 5. So it's going to be in the Rock Bar on Saturday the 5th of December. So it is in association with sort of my side piece there, Cuchulainn Artist Management Promotions. So we're going to release the full lineup next on next Thursday's show, along with the ticket details. So looking forward to releasing that there, folks. Right, so before we do our next tune here, we're gonna jump into a few more comments. Harry says, Ro, when do you get Clover on? Well, I've been talking to Paul actually over the last couple of days, and I'd say it would do maybe October sometime. I think we have some serious trolls not coming on here. See all these people like with no names, they're coming on and saying stuff. I seen it and it's shite. Says, I love this show. Michael Turner, great to see you back. Oh, cheers, mate. Valerie, yeah, Ro, you're in a great show. Happy to have you back. Thank you very much. So yeah, Marty just said, so Rangers are still in the conference qualifiers, I think, but I think Darren McInnes is still holding out for his first win. So he is as manager of them, and so yeah, that's good to see, I have to say, isn't it? Right, so right, we're going to do I think it was Alan had asked for a song from the Spirit of Freedom. He says, yeah, Alan Chuckling McPherson, any songs by Spirit of Freedom? Yes, we can do that indeed. So we're going to do this one here for you. Wee tune called The Black Watch. Love this version of Spirit of Freedom. So this is the DJ Rebel Row show, folks, episode 1 tonight, the very first one. And hopefully you're all happy enough with the way it's went so far, because I am still literally shaking, I have to say, from the start of this here to right now. Still very nervous, but and I'm sweating buckets. But here we go. This is Spirit of Freedom with The Black Watch on the DJ Rebel Row live show. Here we go. If you play, it'd be good. Come on. Why is this not playing for? There we go. See, it's a bit slow. A bit like me, a bit slow.
Strolling down the Falls Road with raid guns and gas, terrorising women as they're coming out of mass. A shower of Scottish traitors we never will forget. Thank God we know the Irish aren't beaten yet. You've heard about the beeman, the cruel war you see. You've heard about the black and tans and bygone history. But there's another regiment the devil calls his own. It's known as the Black Watch, commissioned by the throne. Strolling down the Falls Road with riot guns and gas, terrorising women as they're coming out of mass. A shower of Scottish traitors we never will forget. Thank God we know the Irish aren't beaten yet. The soldiers come from Scotland, a place you all know well. The hardest parts of Glasgow, the tinny boys did well. They're given a British uniform, they're given a British gun. They join the fucking army just to have themselves some fun. Strolling down the Falls Road with red guns and gas, terrorising women as they're coming out en masse. As sure as Scottish traitors we never will forget. Thank God we know the Irish aren't beaten yet. When I get married, I'll have a little son. I'll tell him about the regiment and the fucking things they done. But when he gets older, becomes a man like me, he'll join the provisional IRA, set all Ireland free. Strolling down the Falls Road with riot guns and gas, terrorising women as they're coming out en masse. As sure as Scottish traitors we never will forget. Thank God we know the Irish aren't beaten yet. Strolling down the Falls Road with riot guns and gas, terrorising women as they're coming out en masse. As sure as Scottish traitors we never will forget. Thank God we know the Irish aren't beaten yet. Thank God we know the Irish to shoot the bastard dead.
Boom, 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 boom. And that is Spirit of Freedom. I'm delighted to see that the two Tonys are going to be in Gran Canaria this year at the Celtic Festival. Although Mickey sort of put them on the poster the last few years, I'm guaranteed he's told me they're definitely coming this year. I think one of their families has turned 50 or something and they're all heading out, so it'll be fantastic to see the two Tonys, legendary band on the scene, over playing for the week in Gran Canaria at the Hills Donegal Festival. So folks, if any are going, let me know what your plans are. Looking forward to it. So it takes place in DC Rayleigh's and Tiffany's Bar in the main shopping centre in Puerto Rico in Gran Canaria, the 24th till the 29th of so it's a Thursday to Monday of September. So we actually arrive over, me and Laura, on the Thursday, the day the festival starts, and then we're home the following Thursday. So I've done both. I have went over early and then went home basically the day after the festival. And then last year we went over, arrived the day of the festival, and then went home a few days later. So I think I prefer it there more, because at least then you have a few days to chill out after the festival's finished, go and do the boat trips and all you want to do and stuff and whatever, and just hang about, go for a few nice meals instead of just being full on. Because when it's on, you're basically day night. It's relentless. And I mean, that's just the drinking. So it's relentless. I think my old dad last year couldn't hack it, but it was too much for him. So it was. I don't think he was expecting to be as much drinking than went on. Let's see, Harry Townsend, Alan, how are you doing? Right, Ro, what will I do is share the lives out. What I will do is share the lives out. Okay, good man yourself. Gary Park, Gary, how you doing, mate? Good to see you back there. So that there a guy who, whatever his name was, something anal or what his name was, I actually banned him as well. I think he's just another troll. But basically, he came out there and just said on the comments, this is shite, it's not the same. So it isn't. Listen, folks, this isn't the Rebel podcast. I said that from the start. It wasn't going to be the Rebel podcast. So it wasn't. This is a completely new format. So it is. And I'll explain to you that I didn't want to hear anybody moaning and groaning about the interviews and people talking and not so much music. I mean, it is a podcast. It's probably very like the old show. We probably would have played a lot more music in the old show. But this was about getting these guests on and sharing their sort of lives with you and let you know. I mean, that's what it is. When we're on a Thursday night. I mean, we're not. It isn't like a weekend or nobody's sitting drinking in the house. I mean, maybe it's are. Is anybody sitting having a drink? I don't know. I'm working in the morning at 5 o'clock, so I'm certainly not. So I'm not. But listen, we'll do this one for our good friend Michael Turner. He was looking for the Fenian record player, and I think if we're going to play a song, we can only play the Irish Brigade version of this. So can. Here we go. Love this wee song.
Wee Willie John McFadgen was a loyal orange broad who thought that Ian Paisley was just one step down from God. He thought they ate the children in the backwoods of Ardoyne, and he thought that history started with the Battle of the Boyne. He thought that history started with the Battle of the Boyne. One day he took a brick in his hand and he dandered up the falls. He was mumbling up the Rangers and humming Derry's walls. He broke the big shop window to annoy the Pope of Rome, and he took a record player out and then he started home. He took a record player out and then he started home. Next night they had a hoolie in his local Orange Hall. Wee Willie took his player to make music for the ball. He chose a stack of records of a very loyal kind, but when the music started up, he nearly lost his mind. But when the music started up, he nearly lost his mind. This Fenian record player was a rebel to the core. It played the songs the Orange Hall had never heard before. For Dolly's Braes and Derry's walls, it didn't give a fake, and it speeded up God Save the Queen till it sounded like a jig. It speeded up God Save the Queen till it sounded like a jig. It played the woods of Upton and the wearing of the green. Such turmoil in an Orange Hall has never yet been seen. It played the boys of Wexford and the men of 98. But when it played the soldier's song, it sealed Wee Willie's fate. But when it played the soldier's song, it sealed Wee Willie's fate. For the boys were clean demented, to the ground Wee Will was thrown. They kicked his ribs in one by one to the tune of Gary Owen. They threw him out the window to a song about Sinn Féin. They kicked them all down Sandy Road to a nation once again. They kicked them all down Sandy Road to a nation once again. This Fenian record player was heard no nevermore. They prodded it with digging poles and threw it on the floor. But still the funniest sight, me boys, that I have ever seen, for the flashes flying out of it were orange, white and green. For the flashes flying out of it were orange, white and green. Wee Willie's up in the mental home, crazy as a coot. He sits there in a potted cell and twiddles with his flute. But when he tries to play the sash, he always gets it wrong. For halfway through he always finds he's playing the soldier's song. For halfway through he always finds he's playing the soldier's song. There's a moral to this story, what it is I cannot say. Maybe it's the ancient verse that crime will never pay. If you ask Wee Willie McFadgen, he'll say a crime be blowed. You want a pincher record player, do it up the Shankle Road. If you want a pincher record player, do it up the Shankle Road.
So we got your Michael Turner up on there as the Fenian record player from the Irish Fields album Our Day Will Come. So there's something in my head that tell me that there, and Jerry Glacken might text me or say, how dare you, that there's a very, very, very young Jerry Glacken there singing, or to me that sounds very like Tony McNally as well, because I know Tony played with the Irish Brigade, and I've heard Spirit of Freedom sing that song, and I don't know, is that Jerry Glacken or is it Tony McNally? I don't want to text Jerry and ask him, he might take the hump, so he might, and say, and just, how dare you, I mean, even say that there, for God's sake. Conal says, yeah, thank you, Ro, great to see you back, thanks very much. There's Bruce and Polly, good to see you on. Bruce, cheers mate for coming back again. Yeah folks, thanks for all the comments tonight. It's literally it's fluent, so it has fluent, so it has Fran O'Donnell says it's Jerry. Okay, well I'll take your word for it, but I know Jerry's voice now is completely different than what it was before, when it was the old Irish Brigade. So I think the song we're going to play out here with is somebody asked for the Sam song earlier on. I'm not sure who it was. That might have been Michael as well, actually. But I'm going to play a version here of a young guy from Dublin, right, called Daniel Doherty. So if any of you are on my Q Holland page or even the DJ Rebel Row page, go and have a look. I put up some videos of this young guy. So he reached out to me on Instagram probably about a year ago and said, listen mate, is there any chance of getting any gigs in Belfast and stuff? And I sort of said, like, Daniel, nobody really knows you. I mean, you're green to the scene. Maybe hard to get your gigs up here, especially sort of travelling or whatever. But I did pass him his number on to Aidan Brown. I said, Aidan, check out this young guy. He's from Dublin. He'd be great to get into the bar for doing gigs and all for you. And a couple of other people as well passed him, said, listen, have a look at this guy. He's in Dublin. And now he's probably one of the most popular rebel singers in Dublin. Aidan was telling me the other day he can't even hardly book Daniel Doherty now because he's that busy playing other venues. So he isn't. So I had him in the Rock there a couple of weeks ago and he went down a treat. Everybody was saying he was fantastic. He's just so raw. So we've got him booked for another 2 dates in the Rock in October and November. So we have. So it's great to see. So he recorded this album here in Live and Potter Browns. I think it was last year. So it was Kevin Bowen. Yep, Aidan's top guy to promote young singers. Definitely is, mate, indeed. So and it's good to see Kev O'D as well. Isn't he going to be singing in Aidan's bars? He was playing there in the football club one he has, McDowell's, a few weeks ago. So I think Aidan's getting him for a few gigs in Potter. So yes. So this album here, Daniel recorded live in Potter Browns, I think it was last year, and now I wouldn't say it's studio quality. I think this here's literally just took straight out of the desk, so it has, and put on the and there hasn't been a lot of sort of anything done with it at all. It's been just put straight up. John Stowe, definitely Jerry, what a showman. Dan Kelly says, if there's time, Ro, can you play Kieran Murphy? I'll always be the RUC to meet. Well, not tonight, mate. If you get me a request early next week, if you're on, I'll definitely play about that. We're going to finish up with this tune because it's going on 5 to 10 now. So we're going to play the Sam song. This is young Daniel Doherty, recorded live in Potter Browns in Dublin. Folks, if you get a chance to go and see this guy, go and see him. He's fantastic, and he's the thing I like about Daniel is you see a lot of rebel singers, they're standing there on the stage and they have like a phone or an iPad or even a songbook. This wee lad does nothing. He has a guitar and a microphone. It's all in his head. And some of the songs he's come out with, plays all like the sort of the old Irish Brigade songs. He knows them all. I mean, it's great to see for somebody so young. So this is Daniel Doherty, folks, with the Sam song live in Potter Browns, and we're going to wrap up the show here. So thank you very much for everyone who's tuned in for the first show. I'm stuck in this chair. I'm sweating, so and let me know, folks, just in the comments what you think of like the new background and stuff with the. Cause I'm using basically, if anyone haven't seen the video I done last week, see right behind me, all around here, it's all blue. So that's called like a blue screen. Obviously, you'll know what you heard like you ever seen you go to watch the weather? It looks like from behind them, but really it's just a green screen, and they put the graphics. That's what this is here. So I have like a blue screen all around me. I'm using the software from the StreamYard, from the stuff I use. Obviously that's why I had to pay for it, because you get stuff like this here. But just let me know what you think of the new background, folks. I think it definitely looks a bit more professional, so it does than what it was before. But just a sort of curtain, and you see my dad popping in with a tea and all, sticking his hand through the curtain. But right, we're going to finish up here, folks. This is again, thanks to you all. Thanks for all the comments. Thanks for all the requests. Thanks for all your patience. And I'm not going to thank the few assholes that were in and just give me grief tonight. But here we go. This is Daniel Doherty, recorded live in Potter Browns for the 15th tonight with the Sam song, folks. I'll see you all next Thursday, 8 o'clock, with John Costello and Michael McCormick live on the second half of the show. Plus we'll have Keith from On the Hoops on the first half, just talking about our Celtic chat. So here we go, folks. See you all next week.
Chucky Ireland, sing up the heart, the silence in the skies. Chucky Ireland, sing up the heart, the silence in the skies. Well, you've been a pro when I was 50 years or more, with arm lies and more than once I thought I knew the score. Now we got a weapon we never used before, and the Reds are looking worried, and they're going to worry more. Chucky Ireland, sing up the ride, out the ride, out the ride, the silence in the skies. I started with the showboats and showing bricks and stones. For 100 miles like me, I never was alone. So I heard that bricks and stones don't drive the bricks away. It wasn't very long before who did I join? I joined the IRA, British Railway. Chucky Ireland, sing up the ride, out the ride, out the ride. The sound, the silence in the skies. And when they came and turned in the year 71, for it's not we were eating, that we were on the run. That early hog this morning they clicked in our back door. For every man they took away, how many did they miss? They missed 100 more and more to go. Chucky Ireland, sing up the ride, out the ride, out the ride. The sound, the silence in the skies. The spectators in the cages I would find them pink and brown. Although they walked away, boy, why walk them around? There's only one thing that I learned while in the cellar I lay. The Reds will never leave us, not until they're blown away. Chucky Ireland, sing up the ride, out the ride, out the ride. The sound, the silence in the skies. All through the days of hunger strike, I watched my comrades die. While in the streets of Belfast, you'd hear the women cry. I can't forget that massacre that Friday at Lockwood. I salute my fallen comrades as I watch the choppers fall. That's my melodies, Chucky Ireland. Who out the rock, who out the rock. The sound, the silence in the skies. The sound, the silence in the skies. Let me just start the sound song. Shanna feet apart, a taffy alligator, winds ourselves, her tender rannicum, they buzz face hair, shanty, a shinshire pasta. The odd bar, Pantera, Rock and Town, and Dots, I am Sabar. Nick on their kettle, and was no sill, they gone their scrape. Neil Abbott now be led, Charlotte Canning around the veil. Thanks very much, good night, God bless you all. Chuck you out.